Hello, and welcome to Katunkwit Chronicles. We're here again today, and we're really blessed to have a good friend, a neighbor of mine, Marcia Mello, with us. One of the Mellos
One of the
from
many
town,
Mellows.
the Mellos of Katunkwit. So we're very pleased to have Marcia with us. She's been talking about visiting for quite a while, but now
I'm here.
you're here, finally well enough to join us. So you've been ill of late a little bit?
I have been, every once in a while because we've got a lot of wildlife here in Katunkwit. These creatures come and invade our territory, and I got bitten by a tick, I guess, that gave me both Lyme disease and babesiosis.
Oh.
Two not so fun things to have.
Katunkwit is blessed with much of that type of vermin. Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's such a skunk population and a rabbit population and a deer population.
Oh, yeah.
3 times
Right.
the ticks
Yeah, I think
that are going to move.
It's probably my own fault because I've taken pictures of deer and coyotes walking down our street, and they've been munching on my hostas, which I put along the driveway for their little snacking area. But I think because of the drought we've been having lately, they've been moving into the interior of my yard and going after my beautiful big Empress Wu hosta in the front. And, they're just not respectful eaters. They just crunch away and leave all these ragged edges. So, of course, I'm going out there right where they were with their tick-laden bodies, clipping the stems to make them look a little bit more presentable.
Well, you're good to take all the blame. Well, you can't blame wildlife.
You can't blame,
they were here.
Yeah, they need blood too.
There was an occasion where two coyotes were following us up to school one day when the children were little.
Wow.
Wild.
Yeah, literally.
So, your recent neighbor jumped in here from some other place. Where were you living, in South Africa, or what were you doing?
No, I was in the big bad city to the north, but,
Providence.
Providence, yes.
Providence. Oh, c'était fantastique.
Uh-huh.
Did you enjoy the Italian food in Providence?
C'est marvelous, or marvelous, something like that.
Yeah. I lived up there a little bit while I was going to college, and I really enjoyed the hill.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I gained about 12 pounds during college.
Easy to do there.
Yeah. So new neighborhood, different kind of scene, a little bit laid
definitely.
back.
I don't know if you know, though, this was not my first time on the island. The story goes that I washed up somewhere near Bottoms Beach in a basket.
Oh, Bottoms Beach, just beyond Hands Beach?
Just beyond Hands Beach, yeah. It's it's a lesser-known beach where people go sometimes unclothed.
It's a very biblical place, but also a very biblical story.
Yes.
You're in a basket.
Exactly. Well, I don't think, my mother or father or whoever it was who put me in the basket was trying to escape some curse of the Pharaoh, but whatever. Wasn't able to take care of me and put me out to sea.
Ramesses the second or third or whatever.
I'm guessing it might have been. Did you ever see the movie The Secret of Rowan and Ish?
No.
Oh, you got to watch it. It's a great film. And in that one, there's a baby that's in a basket, but not intended to be put out. But the seals nearby take him and carry him away to another island. So because we have that seal beach kind of area right across from us to the west, I kind of always imagined that that's what happened.
And your parents were just somebody randomly lying there naked, and they picked you up and they brought you into the world?
No. It was a local fisherman who saw the basket in the reeds and brought me up, and there was a whole big to-do about it. But he took me and the basket to the local church, and they put out a call, and, it's Katunkwit, so somebody came forward.
So you ended up with some parents.
Some Mellows, yeah.
the mellow. So you're very likely not of Portuguese heritage, or you could be.
I could be. Who knows? I
You just don't know.
No.
Have you done the testing?
I haven't. Not yet. You know.
Oh, I thought you might, given the circumstance.
Yeah, I'm curious, but so far, I mean, you know, my adoptive parents are still alive, and I don't know how they'd feel about that. So.
Oh, very good. Well,
Yeah.
That's respectful, of course. Yeah. So it's very clear how you got here. Very clear.
Yeah. But then, you know, I left the little island as young people are wont to do. Like, I'm crashing away from this burg. And went to the big bad city to school and then stayed there for 45 years. And
It seems like the trend has been to leave the island, like my daughters, off to New York City area, and then
come back.
they return a lot more often now,
Yeah.
particularly in the summer.
Yeah.
And I noticed that there's like this appreciation, a greater appreciation than ever
Yeah,
for the
definitely. Yeah.
of Katunkwit and their upbringing here. They're very much appreciative and actually expressing appreciation, which is lovely,
Yeah.
particularly now because we just had two engagements. One has been recently partied pretty hard over here in Katunkwit. We brought in 80 of my daughter's closest friends.
Pushed them all under that big tent I
Yes,
saw.
that was a tent. Yes, so we had tent and, caterers and cake and fancy dresses. And I sweat the whole time.
9 yards.
But it was nice having everybody and using the yard once again in an appropriate manner because, hey, we live here, we might as well enjoy it, right?
Yeah.
So as a basket child...
Or basket case, as the way.
I'm basket case. I don't know you to be a basket case yet, but there has been some occasions where I've walked by your home and there's been some messaging, both messaging mostly about nice changes of season, but also some edgier activist type messages.
Well, it was
in
hard,
the sand.
It was hard not to get somewhat activist during the recent election.
True.
The last election. And, so I did do some Save Our Democracy kind of messages. But usually, I started, that corner when I moved in was a weed patch. It was just all the most horrible...
Poison ivy.
Poison ivy. I got twice trying to pull everything out, even with long sleeves and gloves and everything. But bindweed, everything awful. Oh, yeah. All that stuff that crawls up things and wraps it around and kills stuff. It's like the cobra snakes of weeds.
I know, they drag a tree right down. Imagine that.
Or whatever. Yeah. So it was that stuff. And luckily, I had some trees. I took out a bunch of yew trees that were around the house, and had a arborist crew come and with one of their amazing big machines that grinds trunks so that they don't grow back.
Mm-hmm.
And
stump grinder, it's called.
That's it. A stump grinder. What a great name for that.
Yeah, I've tried to work one of those. Boy, those are dangerous.
I'll bet. Yeah, I'm glad and this one was big. I mean, it was really big. So he was, I went out at one point and he was grinding this old stump that was already mostly dead. And I said, that wasn't one of the ones I needed grinded, but while you're here in this corner, do you think you could roll that thing around this? I'd already pulled up and cut, all this stuff. So, but those roots are big time.
Yeah, they're big time.
And so he took this machine and just crunch, and dig. And so it was really easy then to pull out the roots.
And I noticed you covered it with like a
then somebody
cover.
told me, if you're going to, really want to try and grow flowers there eventually or something, you're going to need to cover it with black plastic, at least 2 layers, and you have to leave it on for 2 years if you really want those roots dead. And so I put it down, and then I just didn't like the look of the black plastic right on the corner of my property. So then I imported sand, and then I saw that made a really nice canvas for my nature art. And
I like it.
Yeah.
Well, it's a great thing, and people look forward to
They do.
seeing that
And
message.
I don't have a dog, but it's my way of meeting people in the neighborhood. You know, they stop by and talk when I'm working on it.
I like that, and I'm one of those folks that stop by. So, been active in political movements. You've also been an advocate for people that are expressing a need for becoming literate and assisting people. I don't know the whole story, but I know that I was involved in something recently with you.
Yeah, the Courageous RI thing.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah, well, that was so. I work with the Media Education Lab at URI, and we do media literacy education, and we consider media literacy the literacy of the 21st century, because I mean, if I asked you to define literacy, how would you define it?
The ability to read effectively and to be conversant in written form.
Right, read and write.
Read and write, not conversant, but
do
capable.
especially kids these days spend most of their time in books?
I just recently saw something about this, and the communities that have set aside time, two things, got rid of cell phones in school, and set aside reading time, specifically reading time for pleasure.
Yeah.
In the classroom or outside the classroom with some freedom, of course, have actually increased their, scores or whatever it is, the literacy scores.
Yeah, of
so
course.
It's an issue, and I'd like to see the cell phone perhaps removed from the students.
And that's a big topic in media literacy these days. I mean, some of us feel as though if our kids are going to have cell phones at 11, 12 now, 10 maybe sometimes, 9. I mean, kids are getting their own phones earlier and earlier unless parents really know how to put those parental guardrails up. The kids can access a whole bunch of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they are trying to, usually, or their friends tell them about it. And so what media literacy does is it says that we need to have our kids be able to read and write messages from any medium. So that means from TikTok videos and from memes. We need them to analyze those messages to understand why they were made, who the target audience was, what techniques they used to capture and hold your attention. The things that, kids and me, I'm a filmophile. I love films, and especially really good films. And I can watch a TV series along with the best of them. So I'm a visual learner and love my media as well. But sometimes young kids, preteens and teens, are not always the best judge of quality media. So,
but we can't insist that this is good and this is not good. They need to figure that out by
themselves.
Experiencing
it.
It.
Media literacy doesn't preach, and it doesn't take a political view. It simply asks questions. It tells you to ask questions about what you read, watch, hear, play with. As far as video games and stuff, what's the author trying to do?
Well, that's oftentimes my judge, and I don't mean to judge anyone, but if you're meeting somebody, a young person for the first time, I'm impressed with those that are curious.
Yeah.
Okay, because there are people in high levels of government now and even before that were not curious.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll give you an example. Both of my what do they call them? Engaged members of my family now. These young men, in both cases, they're both curious folks.
That's nice.
And And if they don't know something, they'll ask questions about
Yeah.
it. So this is exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly.
And I really love that about them,
Yeah.
because we can experience things together. And I'm also very curious about their lives because
Yeah.
it's somewhat foreign to me, right? They're in
Yeah.
the city. They're both upwardly mobile professionals. All so that's an interesting world.
Yeah.
And I want to know more about all the worlds, right?
Yeah. And curiosity and comfort around adults, I think, are two really good qualities in young people. That's,
That's good.
always been good things for me to see in young people.
Let's get to some of the more meaty questions, like what's your favorite smell?
Oh boy, let's see. What's my favorite smell? I had a workman come the other day to my house and he was like, "Do you have lilies here?" And I said,
What was the question? What do you have?
"Do you have lilies
Oh,
here?"
lilies.
And I said, "I grew lilies this summer, but they're not in bloom right now. Why?" And he said, I thought I'm smelling lilies. And then I realized it's the autumn clematis that I have growing up over my outdoor shower, and it smells lovely. So, yeah, I think flower smells are some of my favorites.
Least favorite?
Gardenia. Least favorite, vomit.
That's a good answer. The skunk,
Especially
and
if it's mine.
skunk for me, and everyone knows why because I've told the story many
You've been
times.
skunked.
Twice in the face. Take me back to a place in your childhood where smell or smells that you smell again or return to, such as spring mud, for example, and then tell a story from those smells,
Oh, well.
if you can.
Sure. So I spent some of my childhood in a little Cape Cod house. So my sister's bedroom was on the second floor, across from our two brothers' bedroom, and underneath those windows. So this is, I guess, getting back to one of my favorite smells. My mom had planted lilac bushes. And so every spring, when you first open the window and you get that whiff, because lilacs are one of the first things that bloom. And
Eva's favorite flower.
Is it?
She loves the lilac.
Something we have in common.
In fact, she probably picked a few of yours when she was passing by.
Mine haven't been in bloom yet, because the first thing I did when I moved to this house on Ogunquit was Cotunquit, sorry, was plant lilac bushes outside my bedroom window.
Have you been to Ogunquit?
I have not been to Ogunquit, but friends just sailed there, which is why it's on my mind.
Oh, okay, there you have it.
And yeah.
So, as a child that was born to the world in a, I don't know, like a wicker basket.
Yeah.
Did you spend time at the beach when you were out on Cape Cod?
Oh, I'm totally a nature girl. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I
sailed across water and I ended up in reeds. How could I not be?
Of course. Now, that was a silly question, but also, I usually prepare these questions oftentimes before I know anything about you, which is good. Leads us to other places. My favorite smell, one of my favorite smells, is low tide. See, I love low tide because low tide is a time of discovery for me. Of course, high tide is good too because just after it, a lot of the things that float up are useful, and some are not. And I went for a walk recently with my daughter, who was here extended time because she was getting prepared for the engagement party. And I said, let's go for a walk, and then we walked on the beach. And, of course, I came back with 70 pounds of plastic, which but also some good stuff, right?
Yeah.
So nice,
I go down with buckets in my car almost every day now getting seaweed. In fact, I was talking to somebody down there recently, and she was saying, well, do you use the brown stuff, the long stringy stuff? And I said, yeah. She said, I found that it doesn't decompose well. And I said, well, I cut it up and put it into my compost. but the kelp is supposedly the best. And she went, oh, yeah, yeah. And then I started, finding kelp. That's the long green fingers,
I know all
right?
about it, yeah.
And a lot of Asian people, they make soup out of that and
Oh,
stuff.
it's delicious.
Yeah. So all of a sudden
The ribbon weed.
Yeah, I started feeling guilty because I thought, gee, am I decreasing the kelp population in the world by taking this kelp off this beach?
I think theoretically you are, but not to any great
I'm going to
degree.
have to look that up.
So when you were 10, how far could you throw a stone? And how far can you throw a stone now?
Oh, pretty far. I have a good arm.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I have a good
Did you
arm.
skip stones?
I played, oh, yeah.
Skipping stones was a big part of my
Big
childhood.
thing.
Throwing stones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Accurately.
had a pond near our house, so skipping stones in the summer and skating on it in the winter and fishing and yeah.
As is the case oftentimes when you're having a party, sometimes one of the beers will, lose its fizz. You can hear it fizzing, so it's time to toss that one in the recycling bin. But I was on one side of the house, and I knew where the recycling bin is over the corner of this house. And tossed it right in, found out that I tossed it in after I went back there later on.
Wow.
So, sometimes
those childhood
skills.
those games become skills.
Did your family own a skateboard?
I owned a skateboard. Yeah, they were probably right around that age.
The mellows were very progressive, right?
Well, but yeah, and it was ridiculous. I mean, it was basically a wooden board with almost like roller skate wheels.
That's what we had. Yeah, and the pointed front, so you could really damage somebody else
when
or
I look
yourself.
when I look at the ones today, it's like, oh my gosh.
Well, this is a presumptive question, but tell us about your first lover or your first love.
Well,
or not. You can also not. You can say, well, I think that's private.
Well, no. I think if we just talk about love, like puppy love, like 5th grade, 6th grade love, I was definitely in love with, the really cute, hunky guy in my class. And his best friend liked me. So we used to double date as much as one did in 5th or 6th grade. It was like to roller skating parties or something.
Oh, that's lovely.
But that was, unrequited love. So, yeah.
How many times have you clacked your tongue against the roof of your mouth today?
Clacked it? None.
Okay, I do that a lot. And lately I've been grinding my teeth during the daytime, and that sounds like that sometimes. Like a dog that's very hungry. What's your favorite funeral arrangement flower?
I think lilies are very pretty in a funeral arrangement.
Very nice. I like a lily too. The smell nice.
Yeah.
Are the skunks living under your porch?
No, but I think they come into my yard every night. I see the digging for slugs kind of thing, and I see them. I mean, I call the one Blossom. Wasn't that the name of the skunk in Bambi?
Yeah, well, Blossom's not
I know you're not.
I don't refer to them as
I know
Blossom.
you're not fond, but I'm
Fucking
trying
Blossom.
to befriend my skunk.
Every single night I'm getting a whiff of that stuff before I go to sleep. Do you get rid of the skunks? You just wave them in. Bring them in.
Well,
if anybody's out there in Ohio, they can't see me. I'm waving them in.
You go back into your bush. I'll cross over the street. Let's keep in our own territory.
I saw one down Ginny's house.
Yeah.
Just down the way.
Yeah.
Just over near the school. It must have weighed 40 pounds.
Get out.
Oh, it was a monster. It looked like a dog.
Oh, the one in my yard is very small.
Oh.
Might even be a newbie.
They're better if they're newbies, but they don't spray you as much. Well, I'm not even gonna ask you if you explored as a child. Of course you did. How high can you jump now?
I haven't measured how high I can jump in a while, but I do boot camp twice a week.
That's good. Are you jumping and landing?
We're jumping and land. Yeah.
Boy, landing sucks. I hate the landing. The jumping, not so much. Not a problem.
Yeah.
What's your least favorite part of living in Cotunkquit? Uh-oh, you're going to offend a lot of people now.
Well, it's September, so I'm not going to offend that many people, unless you've got a lot of tourists who are listening to the podcast, because the least favorite part for me is strange, but it's the summer. It's the crowded, it's
Crowded
the
restaurants, crowded
all the
streets.
people coming into my island, and yeah.
The particularly fast drivers that drive up the street, seemingly in this quaint little town, and then they, by the tennis court and everything, and they're going to the school. For some reason, they have to drive, or wherever they're going. I don't know where they're going.
Yeah.
Have you tried that arthritis cream, a special arthritis cream I sent you?
I have.
Yeah, it's good. How was it?
It didn't work on my coccyx area,
Okay.
which is where I have arthritis, I think.
Well, I have to stray from that from that answer. Do you frequent Cotunkquit-based restaurants, and which ones do you like?
Well, yes. Okay, so the lobster claw, of course.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, you can't go wrong with lobster.
You can't, and, I'm not a big, whole lobster kind of attacker with all the things. Of course, it may have been my only dinner that I went to that was the whole lobster bake thing, and I passed on getting a lobster in front of me. But it was when I was still suffering from the Lyme, and I wasn't feeling great.
Not gonna feel it.
I didn't have enough energy to do those claw things.
No, I get it. But I'm inclined to. It does the animal injustice if you don't clean it to the point where you can actually see through the shells, including the body shell, the whole thing. I eat every part of it, almost. Not the stuff you're not supposed to eat.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, the liver, right? I think that's the bad area.
The green stuff.
Yeah, I stray from that.
Yeah.
I'm sure I eat some of it, but...
Yeah. Well, and you're still alive, so...
Yeah. The lobster claw, though, just seems an injustice not to include the rest of the animal.
I totally,
I'm sure they use it in the stuffing or something.
Yeah. And, of course, I always go early in the season and get a lobster roll. On toasted bun, buttered.
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, it has to be
It's specific.
That. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm never in favor of the rolls that they use. They're just such an inferior roll. I mean, they dress it up with that, but they're so it's such a bad choice for such a really wonderful subject matter.
Yeah.
You've got that beautiful lobster in there.
Yeah, and like a hot dog roll.
And they put it on a hot dog roll. I mean, it makes not the first bit of sense.
Well, that's why frying the roll in a lot of butter,
that's right.
Turning it brown, gives it a certain je ne sais quoi.
Yes, it brings it up a little bit, but it's you're dancing in a field of,
I don't care.
What's your favorite beach found item that you brought home to your shed?
Oh, I have one from the cove here nearby. One of my first trips out there, walking all around that path, that you can take and go. On low tide, you can go almost all the way around the cove. But it was low tide, and I was walking along, and I found this piece of beach glass that was clear, and it was about this big for the listening audience, about 2 inches by an inch at the top and an inch and a half at the bottom, and it had a sunburst etching in it.
Oh, I like that.
So a round circle, and then all coming out to all of the edges, rays.
But not a Sharpie. It wasn't sharp.
No, it was etched into this glass.
No, but I'm saying it wasn't sharp edges.
It was beach glass. Yeah, it had been softened. And it was a sunny day, and I think I liked it that much, and the story has a sad ending in that I don't know where it is now, but I held it up to the sun so that the sun was right where the circle was, and then I took a picture of that, so that it was actually Does that make sense?
It does.
Can you imagine that?
I can only imagine how beautiful that must have been.
It was beautiful, and I can't find either the glass or the picture that I took now.
Well,
but
you have to find another one, so keep
somewhere
looking.
Down in my basement in one of those 4 boxes of photos I have that someday I will go through.
No, there's great value in digitizing a lot of that. Because
there is.
we did that, and then our daughters came home for a weekend together, and we all watched it. And I'll tell you.
Yeah.
That was powerful stuff.
Yeah.
Lots of tears and funny. We're laughing. I mean, it was great.
Yeah. I've done a couple of those projects.
So you're the only homeowner on the street that hasn't blown up their house and built a mansion, but what's up with that?
I think that was actually, I don't have proof about this, but I think the fact that when we were buying the house, my daughter and I, we said, we will pay cash and we won't tear it down. And I think the agent, who wasn't a real estate agent, it was a local lawyer, who is very invested in the island, I think he was so happy to hear that our offer was the one he took.
Isn't that a nice story? Right. Oh, people being nice and good, and you've made it into a lovely
it's a
home.
Sweet little cottage, isn't it?
Yeah. For those of you that can't see, Marcia Mello is just having sort of an apoplectic moment. Her
that music
her body
does
was
it to me every
shimmering.
Time.
Yeah, I know, it's nice. You want to hear it again? So we played that to prompt the audience, and there have been many people that have contacted us through our email address.
Which is
at www.katunkwitchronicles. Katunkwitchronicles@gmail.com. That's CATUNQUIT. Then the word chronicles, CHRONICLES @gmail.com. And chronicles was spelled for you, for those of you that didn't read on the reading time at school. So it's time to express a few commercials, and I know I'm a little bit like who was that wonderful, famous, and very Alfred Hitchcock. He never liked commercials, so he would denigrate the commercials before the commercials. But
yeah,
in this case, we have some fun commercials coming up.
All right.
Our first commercial, Happy Endings Physical Therapy, is located at 5 Blue Green Lane. It offers full body, naked, hot massage, and aromatherapies for your tired body. Living a stress-filled life in Katunkwit, trying to hold down 2 jobs to kill that $5,000 per month mortgage? Stop in at Happy Endings PT for a weekly tune-up, and you'll be satisfied. Happy Endings physical therapists are licensed cosmetologists and have worked in the therapy business for in excess of 2 years. Come in and we'll make you come back again and again. I think there's some inference there. Sexual inference. We're going to go with Wheat and Barley Package Stores offering. We know Wheat and Barley. That's a regular commercial for us, somebody that's been supporting us since the beginning. Wheat and Barley Package Store is offering a new product called Everything Juice. It's a mixture of no less than 10 types of alcohol along with a mixed berry powdered mix. 10 types of alcohol. Come in and try Everything Juice for a taste test on Friday evenings between 5 p.m. and 7 p.m. weekly. Get your motor running with Everything Juice. We offer free share rides home, and you probably need them. On that topic, it's a mixture of no less than 10 types of alcohol. Has it been disproven that alcohol is just alcohol and it's not, mixing alcohol is not a problem? or is that a problem?
Mixing?
Mixing different types of alcohol together.
Well, I always went with, what were those poems we learned?
About the white and
No, beer on whiskey, mighty risky, whiskey on beer, never fear. That was one.
Okay.
You didn't learn these?
Beer on whiskey. What? Beer on whiskey?
Beer on whiskey, yeah. So if you have beer after you have whiskey, mighty risky.
Okay, and then?
Whiskey on beer, never fear. I have no idea.
So if I have a whiskey first and a beer second, it's okay?
I'm just telling you what I learned somewhere along the way. I have no idea. I
Must have been
testify
out there.
to the veracity of that poem.
Middle and Narragansett Bay floating around. That might have been how you learned all these things. Thomas Ben Realty, another one of our wonderful supporters. Sponsors is offering sign-on bonuses for all new listings, including a pre-negotiated stay options after the house is sold. Thomas of TB Realty says so many buyers want to buy in Cotuncquit that we can negotiate an easing out of the owners after the sale of the home. So let's say you want to sell your house now in the inflated market, but you want to leave Cotuncquit until October. Why, we can make that happen. In most cases, buyers want to knock down your house and build anyway. So an early purchase, let's say this spring, would not constitute construction readiness until midwinter 2027 in most cases. Talk to Thomas Ben of Thomas Ben Realty for a negotiated deal that works for your departure. Now, let's just say this. That was really convoluted way of saying it, Thomas Ben. Of Ben Thomas. Ben of Thomas Ben. Yeah, Thomas Ben. So what I'm saying is, I think what do you think he's trying to say here?
You can stay in your home even after you sell it, but you can get the money first, and he'll negotiate some kind of deal. I don't know how that works, because what if something happens? Yeah. Anyway, Thomas is saying he'll do it, so...
Well, Ben of Thomas Ben, yeah. Okay, so Ben of Thomas Ben. The Cotuncquit Press is seeking to bring on a poet laureate for Cotuncquit, and specifically for the Cotuncquit Press. This is a full-time position with a base salary, and the CPPL, that's the Cotuncquit Press, will also receive word bonuses for lengthy poems. Stop by the CP headquarters on Cotuncquit, Maine, located across from Degrees Restaurant. We are open 9 to 5 daily. That's wonderful. They're going to pay by the word.
Yeah.
You say yeah with suspect.
Well,
suspect.
I think if I was creating a poet laureate thing, I would pay by the efficiency of words.
Oh,
Isn't that what poetry is all about?
Well, the press is probably concerned about the number of words.
To fit in their column space?
Also, I would imagine, I think the idea of a poet laureate for Cotuncquit is a good idea.
Are you suggesting, James, that there aren't enough exciting stories on Cotuncquit to fill the weekly press?
I am suggesting that because I'm not finding them. I think they're doing a very good job of identifying the events and putting pictures in the newspaper, and then staying in touch with the issues of the town council.
Absolutely.
And the school committee. So
Yeah.
they're on that.
Yeah.
And the budget.
Yeah.
And after that, it's
community stuff.
community stuff. So
And I love that about this. The one thing I miss from the olden days was the police report. I mean,
Sure.
I can remember sending to so many of my big city friends one specific entry about somebody who reported a pack of stolen cigarettes from inside a pickup truck parked across from Slice of Hell.
Oh, right.
The pizza place. And, but the person who reported it also got the description of the person who had stolen the thing. So the thief was apprehended.
That's wonderful. You got a description. And a description of the cigarette.
Well, the owner could have provided that, but I just loved that story. I thought, wow.
I was really shocked. I read both.
I'm just guessing we're not going to have the National Guard come in to Agunquit. Katunquit.
Gee, you got
God, I really...
Your friend was visiting. How long?
It's their fault. It's their fault. I hadn't heard the word Agunquit in so long, and yeah.
You did it.
It's the quit at the end. Anyway, yeah.
On the topic, though, let's just discuss this, because recently I was over in the other island, just south of here. I was visiting Jamestown, just south of here.
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
And they have a paper there, the Jamestown Press.
Mm-hmm.
And I was reading, they don't have a police report either, but they have a historical report. Mm-hmm. And I was reading that 100 years ago, 1925, the Ku Klux Klan had a rally, and they marched down
Narragansett
Avenue. Is that what it's called? Yeah, Narragansett, right.
On Jamestown, are you talking?
Yeah, I'm talking Jamestown.
Or Katunquit. Oh.
Katunquit didn't have that experience, which was,
yeah.
I'm glad. But it's shocking to me. But not so much anymore that it's shocking, right?
Yeah.
Because the current administration...
Well, I'm sure you probably saw some of the, the documentary from the rally in New York in, 1939 or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there were active Nazis. Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Disgusting.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I want to ask you, because I've heard different things. What do you call the residents of Katunquit?
Katunquitonians.
See, I've heard Katunquitians.
Oh, have you?
And I would like to put forth Katunquitters.
Just too much quit. No, I don't. I'm not going for that one. But Katunquitters. Katunquitters. I mean, if you say it quickly, you don't get the quit part.
Right. But I like the fact that we might be quitting things like the outside world, especially as
Close on the bridges.
Yeah.
Soccer season's underway in Katunquit, so watch out for stray balls crossing streets, and children retrieving balls.
Is this a family show?
It's not really. Katunquit's Bay Island riding lawnmower races will be conducted this weekend at the park at Fort Perry. Fort Perry Park, standard lawnmowers only will be utilized, and all participants will be provided 1 gallon of fuel. Contestants will race around the RVs on site for as long as their fuel holds. RV owner Jessica Brown says, "We look forward to the crowds and watch from our verandas. Come on down and have a beverage of your choice while watching this exciting race." Saturday, September 20th, race starts at 6 p.m. is expected to run until midnight.
Not the race. Maybe the drinking of their choice of beverage, because on a gallon of gas, I'm guessing those big riding mowers get at the most an hour.
Well, let's see.
Let's go down there.
Miss Brown says, come on down and have a drink of your choice.
There you go.
And you can have a soft drink if you'd like.
I might have
And she said, we have telescopes, so set up for stargazing and bonfires throughout the park. Isn't that friendly?
No, that is counterintuitive. When you're stargazing, you want as little light as possible. So why would you have bonfires going when you want to look at the stars?
Well, just sometimes you got to do what you got to do. It's the bottom line. Don't even start with me. I think we brought in somebody with too much intellect this time. That's what we have going on here. Do you have anything to add?
To the race? Or
any of these
no.
commercials?
No.
Okay. You don't have any commercials of your own?
I don't have any public service announcements.
I have
or
a quick
anything.
fresh question. Yeah. Doesn't say anything about your character or anything, but are you a member of the garden club, Katunquit Garden Club?
I intended to join when I came down, but I have a conflict. I have to go back to the big bad city for a chorus rehearsal that same time that they meet.
Congregate.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I love what they do, beautifying our island and taking care of all the public gardens. And
So what I'm hearing is that we have a little something in common. You like to sing. You're a singer.
I sing.
You said you were in a choral group.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not a bunch of people that go out and look for choral.
Well, this is a very special choral group. We sing at the bedside of hospice patients.
Oh, that's beautiful.
So it's very soft and harmonious singing.
I just wrote a song for a friend
Did
that
you?
I'm recording now for her for a special program related to her, what's it called? Celebration of Life.
Yeah.
So I wrote a song, and my friend and I are recording that. It's entitled The Silk Dress Butterfly.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's remembering our wonderful friend, Kathleen Geary, who we love very much. And she's all around us. She's all around us. I see her head shaking again. All right, so I have a little poem for you, and then I would like our friend Marcia Mello to read a poem as well, if she was willing to. I think I gave her, I think she has a book.
A nice
But
one.
I'll read this poem first, and then it's called On the Half. And you know my connection to the sea, connection to fishing and clams and everything else. So this one's On the Half, about oysters. Flushing water rinses through an oyster. It strains milky sea blood. A single grain of sand, the irritant scraping interior organs, until she circles it cleverly with pearl, casts it to the deep well. The knife-wielding shucker places it atop the ice of the chilled pewter plate, and pockets his pure pearly prize. And that one was by me, James Allen. And now we have one. Oh, you want to talk about it for a second? On the Half?
I like that.
Okay, like is good.
Yeah.
So it's not very descriptive, but I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
That's good. Is there
The whole oysters creating pearls is just such a nice story and image, because oysters are not the most beautiful of
true?
creatures.
Nor clams, like a quahogs. But I was opening a lot of quahogs because we had clam chowder, and I made clam chowder for our 90 guests or whatever they were. And
You didn't find one.
I did not find a purple pearl amongst my quahogs. However, I have found one in the past. I did find one and lost it, unfortunately. I was just a kid. But I did keep a few of them because of the beauty of that purple interior, and I'm going to try to make some
wampum.
And do
Nice.
my best. All right, so let's hear from you.
Yeah, this is a poem called Some Flowers for My Mother by Rhett Eisman Trull. And if halfway through the woods, this is all that remains, tree stitched to tree in an endless pattern, as loss back tacks to loss as far as you can see, wind swelling a sad chorus into the leaves, then still, onward you go, admiring as only you taught me the persistence of wildflowers. Needling up from below, never mind the fickleness of the light here, the damp that would a more flimsily rooted loveliness drown. And although through every thought now it moves weftwise, your motherlessness, coming in degrees, her body of ribbons frayed, her grasp that rends, guilt's bright pebbles flung, stippling the waters of memory. Love, still you find a way, bending low, you see every flicker embroidering the leaf mold. You know their names. Bluet and buttonweed, adder's mouth and aster. They are the bow in the baby's barely any hair. The smile not just of the child who doesn't know a reason not to, but of God who knows even more than we do and calls them forth anyway, out of the soil, out of the ruin, coaxes the thread of each bloom.
Wow, what a lovely poem.
Really?
And well read, thank you.
Thank you. That
Just
was a pleasure.
Nailed that reading. Such a good poem to begin with, but then the reading, that was just per chance. We just picked a great one.
Yeah.
So I like
and
that.
And my mother was definitely a gardener extraordinaire. So lovely.
That was lovely, boy, I'll tell you that. And then I'd have to go through it, but just wonderful imagery. Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're at that time of our show. We're going to fly right into this. Is it bullshit or not? We'll just do, we'll just do bubbles. So we're right here we're just working into our bullshit or not. I could start us off if you'd like, or would you like to start?
No, you please start.
Okay, the sculptor Jason Miguel. I think that's how he'd say it. Anga Miguel. It must be one of your folks. For the Mellows, the Miguels. Anga Miguel's of Howland Avenue in a protest against business leaders that support or supported the current president, swore off Amazon purchases. He searched and searched for batteries for his welding helmet to no avail, having gone to O'Reilly's, the hardware store in town, Walmart, Home Depot, until he finally gave up, and he used his helmet with the weakened batteries. And now he's seeing spots. Is it bullshit or not? Do you know Jason Anga Miguel of Howland Avenue? He's got that place. It's just at the most northern part of Howland. It's beyond the cross street there. What's that one?
Hamilton.
Oh, no. Yes, I think so. Yes. Do you know this guy?
No, but...
Well, you're pretty new around here, so you don't know him. But
I don't know everyone.
You know his work.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you've seen his work.
But I think it's BS.
No, that's true.
Get out of here.
That's true. It's true. It happened, yeah.
You can't find batteries somewhere other than Amazon?
It's a special battery, apparently, for this special welding helmet. Instead of just going out and getting a new helmet, now he's seeing spots. But the doctor says it's going to turn around. All right. The Secretary of Housing from the Trump administration announced, in keeping with outspoken members of the Trump cabinet, such as Secretary of Health and Human Services Robert Kennedy Jr., and not to be outdone, he suggested that given the current state of housing within the continental United States, that homes be built in parts soon to be annexed Canadian border. Parts of the soon to be annexed Canadian border, these provinces in the wilderness areas. Secretary Crumfell stated, they're not using the land anyway, so we're just going to take it. One day we'll just cross over and start building. We believe in acting first, never ask permission, and never apologize for any of our actions. Secretary Crumfell suggested that the new policy and program will be called Lebensraum. Is it true? Is it bullshit, or is it not?
Well, it has a familiar ring to it, but I don't think we are quite where Israel is at the moment, taking over land of our neighbors. So I think it's BS.
It is BS. It is BS.
Thank goodness.
But Lebensraum was a word that was used during the Nazi, if you remember.
Yeah.
Years of the Nazis were prevalent from essentially 1933
exactly that,
through
right?
45 when Hitler died. but there were still people that obviously considered the need for Lebensraum, which means living room, like expansion of our. And it seems like a policy, so and I think it could be true. So I would like to hear from Marshmallow.
Well, I just saw something that interested me because I know that my hair is not that color now, but when I was younger, I was a redhead. And so I saw a piece about thousands and thousands of redheads converging on a small town in Scandinavia, somewhere, I can't remember where it was, for their annual convergence of redheads, where they talk about things like skin cancer and freckles and sensitivities of all kinds, dental pain thresholds, stuff like that, as well as have a lot of fun, just not feeling like the only redhead in the crowd.
Okay, so you have to say, is it bullshit or not?
Is it bullshit or not?
Well, I'm thinking that given that there were a few details, like you didn't know the place, this and that at first I'm thinking, well, that must be bullshit, right? So then I'm going to twist that around and go against my own belief and say it's real, and that's true. Because that's what people do. They congregate to commiserate.
And that is true.
There you have it. That's the rest
There
of
you have
the
it.
story. Did you want to express any of your, like, I know we didn't talk about your comedy.
No, we didn't.
Are you still doing comedy?
I haven't in a while, no.
Do you think you're going to do some for us up at the, you're going to do some, we have an, I should mention.
Yes, mention it.
Ah, yes, at the, next town over.
Across, yeah.
We're going over the next town over.
Next island.
And the Narragansett Cafe, the sister of the Katunkwit Cafe, is having a special night, open mic night. It's September 24th, and then happening on the third Wednesday of each month thereafter. And we're excited, even though we realize that September 24th is the fourth Wednesday of the month. We are going to do this on the third Wednesday of the month most months, not this one. So, that said, we invite all, including comedians, small, short skits, 5 to 7 minute opportunity to express yourself and maybe get a laugh or two or whatever. The singers, we expect, I think we have someone's going to do dog tricks. We have like a real variety of entertainment, including some poets and some people reading or expressing themselves, storytelling. We also think we're going to see the other things. Oh, we have improvisational program kind of set up. I'm going to be the MC along with my friend Jan. So we're going to be there on September 24th from 8 to 10 p.m. And that's sponsored by the Narragansett Cafe in Jamestown, Rhode Island. So we're going to make the big journey, couple of bridges, get over there and enjoy ourselves. And we're hoping you will enjoy it too. And come on over. Bring your talent. Bring your listening or your viewing. Bring your ears and eyes. Thank you. That's a better way of putting that. Thank you. So there we have it.
Bring your hands and feet while you're at it too.
Yeah, that's true. I will expect you to sit in your chair and drink and eat a lot. As is often the case, we have a short story that I put together. And, from time to time I talk about events that took place during my childhood, right? So it kind of gets you an idea a little bit about who I am and I'm one of the characters here in Katunkwit that lives in this character-filled community of, people that are, fishermen and fisher persons, I should suggest, and fire persons, and we've met artists, and we've met writers, and we've met a lot of different people over the last 52 episodes. Thank you. So this day, you get to know a little bit more about James Allen and my little way of growing up. But this is a special time. I guess you have times where you were free to walk the streets. Were you a streetwalker?
Oh, not in that sense. Not in one sense.
Well, you're a redhead, so
yes, I'm a redhead.
That's the sought-after group.
And we have a fiery temper too. So be careful, James.
Okay, I'm careful where I go on that one. Yeah. Sorry.
But yeah, I think one of the real benefits of growing up on an island is that you could be pretty much. I think even the kids today are free range here because it's so much safer than a lot of other places. Yeah. So, yeah.
Except when they go to school. They have to be driven to school.
Oh, that is so crazy, isn't it?
That is.
I know.
Okay, so let's go. Let's get off of that. It's called Free to Walk the Streets by James Allen. After church lets out, I'm free to walk the streets. Mom drops me off in front of the Baptist church in the next town over on Sundays, around 10 minutes before it starts. I guess I could skip church. She'd never know. But I like to sit in the back and listen to the music and wonder if that huge brass chandelier will fall on that guy with a low baritone voice that sings as loud as he can, Llewellyn Concord, who in, 1944, maybe, brought my mother to Warren High School, to the prom, while my dad, who wasn't even my prospective father and hadn't dated my mom yet, was fighting from a trench ass-deep in snow in the Hürtgen Forest in Germany. So, I don't want to miss the day that big, heavy fucker drops right down on his head, so I go to church alone each week, and I don't really care. I used to go with my mother and my sisters, but one of them turned Catholic, the other agnostic, whatever that means, and I don't know exactly what happened to my mom, but she never goes. My mother drops me off and then drives off fast like she has somewhere to go in a hurry, or I don't know, maybe she can't wait to get rid of me. I just know she's not seeing Llewellyn Concord because he's sitting here with me beneath the 10,000-pound chandelier. Well, not right near me. I keep a safe distance. My parents have been arguing forever. But lately it's been all the time. They must think it's open season. And they can fight all the time because it's 1970 and my sisters are trying to be cool and with it and get out of the house. And I'm stupid and overly expressive and always sing in front of the mirror in the living room with a spoon for a mic and nerdy 10-year-old kid that goes along each week to church on Sunday. Well, another hour in church and no action, nothing falls. So I wait my turn in line to get, to greet the minister, Pastor Ed, who I secretly call Mr. Ed, like the horse in the TV show because he's a long face, a long nose, and he looks like a horse. I can see the brilliant sunlight through the arched front doors. I look back one more time at the chandelier as Llewellyn makes his way to the opposite aisle, shaking hands as he goes along like he's the mayor of Warren. It's my turn with Mr. Ed, and I say, "Nice show." And I shake his hand, and a little too weakly, like I'm afraid to shake hands. I always do that. And I run down the steps, past the black iron sharp pointy gate. I can feel the weight of the church bell clanging above. And I wonder if it could loose itself from that rope and topple down here onto the street for me to look at up close. I wonder if Mr. Ed's daughter, who wears a weird little yellow hat each week, is cool, and what she'd say if I ever said anything to her, but I never do. I just wonder. I like plants and planting stuff, so I know most flowers and trees, and it's my favorite time of year, spring. Daffodils and tulips around the bases of the dogwood trees, lining Main Street, my favorite place. My father grew up here, so I don't even feel like I belong in the next town in Barrington where I live. My father has taken me to Warren my whole life, to Warren high school football games and basketball games, and even to watch old men play softball at Burrs Hill Park. One time we were watching old guys, like my father's age, playing softball. I mean, that's not an activity. You don't go to watch people play softball. And, in the umpire, his name is Jocko Kotz, who everyone calls Kotzy. You know who my father gambles with at the firehouse on Tuesday nights, and he yells out, "Hurry up here, I gotta take my mother-in-law blueberrying." Well, my father always tells that story. I mean, it's funny, like it is, but for him, I guess because he knows Kotzy as a gambler and everything else, it has another level of funny. Well, I'm singing church stuff as I walk the sidewalks. Well, mostly to myself, but a little out loud as I passed a man named Pete, who my father told me was shell-shocked during the war. And he walks the block, he touches the knob of the antique shop on the corner of Merritt and Main Streets, and then he returns to the vestibule of Jamie's shoe store. He does it over and over all day. It's so sad. "Hi, Mr. Pete," I say loudly and with spirit, because my father always says to be friendly. And he looks at the sidewalk like he's looking for nickels or something. So I walk on by him, and he keeps singing. He arose, with a mighty power he arose. But I like to sing, and even though I am 10, I try to sing like Llewellyn Concord, low, because I think that's the way I have to sing, and it doesn't come out so good. Jamie's has those new sneakers, Keds, that make you run faster and jump higher, and I look at them at the storefront window, 1999, as Pete passes me on his way to touch the doorknob again. My dad says he's harmless, and sometimes Dad takes the time to talk to Pete because Dad knows war, and he suffers too. My father never sleeps the whole night, always awakens in sweat, walks around the house. I can't hear him most nights. I listen to him talking to Pete for a while, but I'm more interested in the door of the pizza place. I wait the smell of fresh pizza every time the door opens. Anyway, back to sneakers. No chance I'm going to run faster or jump higher because we get all our sneakers from Grant's department discount store, and they slip a lot, like they have some hard plastic on the bottom that doesn't let you get going fast or stop. It's like running on the surface of a hockey rink just after the Zamboni does its magic. Grant's sneakers suck. Keds are best. I'm not in a hurry because Papa's not expecting me for supper until 1. But most Sundays, I get there early to listen at the front door. I'm moving toward my Uncle Don's art shop studio in a gallery, but first I look into Delecta's pharmacy. It's dark, but I can see the handles from the soda water dispensers and the Coke spritzers that make real Coca-Cola on top of ice, and I wish I was sitting on one of those stools right now drinking a Coke. I'm thirsty. I walk over to Mike's barbershop. Closed. The barber's pole isn't moving, and I'm looking to see how it works, because when it's running, it looks like the whole front window's moving. I like to read magazines there, and the place always smells good, like hair tonic. But I hate getting my hair cut, and I never want any greasy hair tonic on my hair. Every time I get my hair cut, I have to go home and wash that shit out. It smells so bad. I try to keep my hair over my ears because one of my ears sticks out. And besides, everyone wears their hair long, but my dad wants me to get a buzz cut, which sucks because he never listens to me and what I want. I cross the street in front of the bank, and John Stanley Young, he yells out at me, "You cross in the crosswalk next to me next time, Giovanni. You Gianni, son, I recognize that all the way down over to Mike's barber shop. You listen to me because I'm practically related to Giovanni. I'm practically related, don't you worry. Next time, sure, Mr. Stanleone. I look in the windows of the nail shop, look at the pictures of fancy ladies, and I know there's something I like when I look at the pictures, but I can't figure it out. So I walk 2 more buildings from the nail shop and the fancy lady pictures, and I'm at Uncle Don's. The window box beneath the huge front bay window is filled with flowers, daffodils, and one Easter lily. My uncle's paintings are all abstract, dark images of war. They're painted with thick, heavy paint that sort of lifts off the canvas. Huge blobs of Prussian blue and cadmium red, surrounded by a light of burnt sienna that kind of, to my eye, helps to almost hold the painting upright. Without the raised paint, the image seems that it would fall off the canvas. I'm staring at this painting for a long time, until I climb the steps and open the door. A bell at the top of the door jingles. I love that sound. I love paintings. I love my uncle's paintings. The smell of turpentine and garlic assault the nostrils, but in a good way. Goddamn customers only come at lunchtime when I'm gonna eat. I hear him behind the beaded doorway. It's only me, I yell, just like my father does as I enter. Gio, come on in, he yells at me through the moving yellow and purple beads hanging from the doorway, behind which lies a magical place with scantily dressed friends of his painted on the ceiling in the likeness of Sistine Chapel, with my Uncle Don centered as God, with angelic maidens all around him. The back room smells of coffee and garlic and basil, along with the smell that comes from soiled furniture after body oils and the sweat of years build into the fabric. Did you come for lunch? No, lunch at Papa's. I like your wicked huge painting in the front. Ah, you're a good nephew. I was always feeling a little blue. He jokes and smiles as he does. I smile too and laugh, despite the subject matter and something about what he said that I don't know why it's funny, but it just is. I have to eat before the customers come. They'll probably come when the Red Sox are on. It always happens. What do you like about that one, picture in the front, the painting in the front? Paint comes off the canvas. The blobs. I like the blobs the most. I think you're going to be a sculptor. You appreciate structure. A performer. I want to be a singer, maybe. Singing is good. Can you sing? I sing good. You have to sing great. Music isn't easy. It can be a heartbreaker. Look at Papa. I gotta go. It's getting close to time. Time for what, he asks. Red Sox, I say. You watching with Pa? Yeah, he loves the Sox. Well, Uncle Don asks. Yeah, it'll be on in the background, but we'll probably play some cribbage, I say. I can't miss the Sox, he says. I'll see you, Uncle Don. Probably next week. This goddamn TV never works, he says while spinning the dial and rearranging the antenna. Well, the jingle of the door closes behind me, and I think of the song Jingle Bells, and I start singing it, but it isn't in season, so I stop and skip for a while till I get to Wheaton Street. Turning the corner, I can see Blount's Seafood at the end of the road, bookending the street in deep green, and then I can smell it. They're always boiling quahogs for Campbell's soup. It has the sweet smell of overcooked clams, like when Dad forgets and leaves them on the stove too long and the water runs dry. Papa's house is halfway down Wheaton, but I go slowly to listen for his trumpet. I usually can hear it by the time I get to Smith's house. I usually sit on the top step of the stoop where I am now and listen. And I usually wait a minute or two to turn the knob, because as soon as I do, he stops playing. He was a musician in the Army during World War I and stationed at Fort Adams in Newport. He told me that most nights during the war, he'd be home in Warren with Josephine, his wife, to sleep, and not at the barracks if they didn't have a concert in one of the mansions. Well, usually I can smell the garlic and the potatoes and the greasy chicken cooking and the smell of pasta and the sauce wafting beneath the door from the top step of the stoop. Usually I'd sit and dream and listen to as the complicated riffs of a single trumpet that sounds like 3 trumpets battling with one another fills the stoop, the sidewalk, and even the street. And I think the first sip from the small juice glass of Chianti wine, I think of that, and he'd soon be pouring for me from a round 1-gallon jug of cheap Chianti wine. But today, there's nothing. I turn the knob. Papa, what are you doing? Nosebleed, he says. He's on for all fours, wiping blood from the bloody floor. His nose drips steadily, well, really pouring out of his head. The rag is soaked, and I stand over him, watching him to turn the rag in endless circles. And then I get it that he's gonna die if he doesn't stop. If I don't stop him and help him, save him. I reach for a rag on the table. My lunch still raw and half-finished is on the table, a knife on the cutting board, spices are open and at the ready. I cover his nostrils and help him over to the rocking chair next to the stove. He reaches for his nose and sees more blood. I crack some ice from an ice tray, wrap the towel with ice, and place it on the bridge of his nose. He points at the bloody mess on the kitchen floor and grunts. What a mess. I'll clean it up. Hold this on your nose, Pa. I'll be right back. What do I do? My father's at the racetrack, and my mother isn't home. It'd be too late if I call them. Judy Smith. Judy, across the street. She's a nurse. I ponder all this out loud in the sun, on the sidewalk for a few seconds as spring's strong sun rays dries the blood on my arms and my hands, and almost instantly I run to the Smith's front door. My papa's hurt. My papa, he's hurt. Calm down, Gio. Let's go. Judy calls out immediately and questioning as soon as she gets into the kitchen. Angelo, do you know who I am? Judy, Papa says like he's got marbles in his mouth, but it's really blood. Angelo, you have a very brave grandson. Papa nods his head. He saved your life, Angelo. Papa's eyes lift to Judy's face pitifully as if in disbelief. Judy puts some more ice on his nose and empties the salad bowl onto the tabletop sloppily. Get me some more rags and go to my house. Fill this bowl with ice, she commands. I run wicked fast to Judy's and leave with the ice, spilling half it on the way back. As I enter the kitchen, the bleeding has stopped. Judy's already cleaning up the bloody mess with a mop and soapy water. Papa motions me over and pats my shoulder gently. I can see dried blood on his lip in the round spot where his trumpet mouthpiece fits. His eyes look up at me above the icy towel, and he winks with both eyes. I think he's smiling, but I'm not sure. He doesn't often smile since Grandma died, way before I was born. Judy and I clean up the mess. She makes some pasta to go with the sauce Papa made earlier. I can't help but see blood with every bite, as all 3 of us eat from large ceramic pasta bowls, me and Judy and Papa still bothered by one nostril full of bloody gauze that Judy packed in there till it hurt. It hurt enough for my grandfather to say ouch, and he never complains. We watch the Red Sox together as Judy changes the gauze every 20 minutes. It's nice and slow and quiet as we all enjoy some Italian cookies together as we watch. An hour passes. The Red Sox are beating Baltimore 6-1. Then I hear a car horn beep out front. By the time my mother arrives, the show's completely over. Papa's okay. My mother comes in most times, but this time she just beeps from the street. How was church? she asks with little enthusiasm as I close the heavy door of the Chevy Impala. Okay. Same old, nothing dramatic. You like the music? Was the choir good? I couldn't hear him over Llewellyn Concord's voice. Geo, be kind. Papa almost died, and Judy says I saved him. I say quickly, kind of slipping it in. Judy, what? Save him from what? Bloody nose, I respond. Geo, people don't die from a bloody nose, my mother reasons. Judy says he takes medicine, and I saved him. There's a silence in the car as Mom turns around and heads back to Wheaton Street hurriedly. The look of concern on her face fills the front bench seat of the Chevy Impala as she shakes her head and sighs. She sighs so much that I think she's going to pass out. And I don't know if it's because she's proud of me, or if she's mad, or if she's bothered because she can't go straight home. But it sure is confusing. The end. So there we are. We have a little story about our friends. I hear some clapping.
Some snapping.
Snapping.
Isn't that what they did in the 50s when, the Beats? That's how they showed their approval in the coffee houses.
Oh, nice.
I don't snap well. Maybe I need to.
I've lost my snap.
Yeah.
It's arthritic snap. I have an arthritic snap now. There's no snap in my fingers.
Was a nice slice of life of a 10-year-old boy in Warren, Rhode Island on a Sunday. Lots of non-typical 10-year-old boy stuff.
Well, the little glass of Chianti that we shared.
Oh, that's typical, I think, in Italian families. Yeah.
But none of my cousins did.
No? Huh.
It's just me.
I've definitely been in, sometimes with water in it for kids, and in a little juice glass, but, and I used to do substance abuse prevention, and until American media hit Europe, the Europeans who often served their kids watered down wine at meals had a much less teenage drinking problem than America did.
Yeah.
Now they've caught up to us because they've seen Animal House and everything else.
Well, so I think the interesting thing that I picked up now, having read this twice or 3 times, need some rewriting because I saw some spots where I was doing some improvisation here, and I kind of write these things quickly, and from memory, right? So
although not from memory, it's hard to actually get into the body of your childhood self. So there were some things that definitely felt more like your adult self coming in.
Well, you would say that, but particularly when you're going to say when he describes the art.
Yeah.
But I'm so tuned into it when I'm a kid. I was so...
You knew Prussian blue and cadmium red?
I knew what he worked with all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, I would sit there and watch him paint. And sometimes I painted with him. So we were... I understood what he was going for.
So, James, tell me, is this a chapter in a bigger memoir kind of thing? It's
a chapter among short stories. So they're short stories, but they're a composite. There's a section of the short stories that are all from essentially 10 to 12 years old.
Okay, so you've introduced these characters previously.
I don't know, but yes, okay. I believe so.
I'm only because I'm saying I know a lot of cultures who call grandfathers Papa, but a lot of cultures call their fathers Papa too. And so when I read it for the first time, I was surprised when you said, I don't know who to call my dads at track because when you were saying Papa, I thought it was a father. And even now, or the second time hearing it, the fact that you stopped at your uncle's and he said Pop or Papa, that would have been a clue that he was talking about his father, but your grandfather.
Yeah. The funny thing is that the children in the neighborhood, people down at the street, everyone in the community called him Papa.
Yeah. It's just that for your reading audience,
it's different.
You want to make sure that they understand. So it's not because, as a writer, I'm always, where do people have to stop and go, what?
Oh, yeah.
You don't want to have that.
Right. And then opening, like early on, I originally, in one of the original versions, you do rewrite these things. I was really kind of lying about that part of it. I didn't mention that it was my mom that dropped me off. It was just she. She drops me off. But mom drops me off in front of the Baptist church in the next town over. And I think that that's critical to the whole, where is she going? What is she doing with her time while I'm at church? What's that all about?
Yeah.
And there was a conflict, obviously, with the parents, and all of that's expressed here. So it's kind of fun. Not fun. It was sad in some way. It was wonderful in others. I think what comes out here is the ADHD in me, right? So I'm concentrating on one thing. I look, and then there's something else shiny, and I go there. But that's what every kid does.
I was just going to say, I attributed that to your curiosity and creativity. That you're singing 1 minute, you're skipping another minute, you're stopping in at your artist uncle's, you're looking in the pharmacy, just looking at those women that you're not sure why you.
Yeah, that's always that. I think I kind of like that, but I'm not sure why. I can't really feel it.
Well, and that's good. I think that's where you are 10 years old, and I mean, even, and obviously it depends on your family growing up, and these stories are a way of looking into somebody else's life, but like, would a 10-year-old even imagine a mother having an affair with somebody else? I don't think
that was happening, but
it's
inferred here.
Yeah, it is.
Because I don't know.
You don't know. And,
I know it wasn't happening.
Llewellyn is in front of you, so it's
not. Yeah, no, he's not him.
She's not with him, who was a date of hers. So yeah.
I just know that my parents aren't getting along.
Right.
And I'm worried about that. Of course, it's part of the child's.
But back
concern.
in that day, well, I guess in the 70s you're talking about, right?
Yeah, by 1970.
Yeah. That's when divorce was just starting to come into being in a bigger way than it had been. Like when I was growing up, I hardly ever knew anybody. My best friend's parents divorced, but when they were older.
Well, that was fun. Thanks for the more in-depth discussion. That was great. We bring you on as a expert in reading, and you certainly did a good read on that one. Thank you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So we're going to have time to depart here, so I think we're going to say goodbye. Farewell. Latvia saying goodbye. Goodbye, hello, Latvia saying goodbye. Oh, you still owe me the $500,
I do not.
No, you've forgotten?
Yeah, no. Didn't I Venmo you that?
See you later.
Bye.
It was nice. I mean, don't forget if you haven't.
I'll look it up.
I don't need $500. You can keep it. Bye.
Bye.